Okay, when we talk about AI and jobs, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably robots, right? A total takeover. But what if the real threat isn't some big, loud robot apocalypse? What if it's something much quieter? Something like a missing ladder?
The source material for this explainer starts with this absolute gem of a line. And it's so powerful because it kind of calls us out. It says, you know that big panic we all have about AI, the one we talk about over dinner? Mass unemployment? Yeah, that's the wrong one. It's distracting us from what's really going on. So let's just dive right into that. We're going to start with the wrong question. Because we've been so focused on this idea of mass unemployment, we're completely missing a much quieter and honestly a more fundamental change that's already underway.
This question is everywhere, right? It's on every headline. It's what keeps people up at night. Will AI take my job? But what if that's just the wrong question? Or at least, if it's the only question we're asking, we are absolutely 100% guaranteed to miss the real story.
So forget the sci-fi movies. The first major shock from AI isn't going to be some dramatic event where robots march everyone out of the office. No, the real change is way more subtle, and as we're about to see, way more profound.
And this brings us to the real heart of the issue, the disappearing bottom rung. See, we're not talking about the whole career ladder just being blown up. The problem is much more specific, and it's happening right at the very beginning of the climb.
This quote just frames it perfectly. The senior jobs, the career path itself, that might all still be there. But the way in, that crucial first step you need to get your foot on the ladder, that's what's starting to just crumble away.
So what are we really talking about with this disappearing ladder? Well, it's pretty simple when you break it down. Think about all those routine foundational tasks. The stuff junior employees do to learn the ropes. That's exactly what AI is getting really, really good at. So if you automate the training ground, well, how does anyone even get started anymore?
To really get this, we've got to look at the kind of work AI is actually taking on first. Because it's not random. There's a very, very specific pattern to all this.
Just think about it for a second. Drafting emails, summarizing long reports, pulling together research, writing basic code. These aren't just a random list of tasks. They're literally the building blocks of pretty much every white-collar profession, and they are precisely what today's AI is designed to do. And who has always done this kind of brunt work? Well, it's the rookies, right? The junior members of the team. The first-year analyst, the new reporter, the associate lawyer. Their job, and here's the key, their training has always been about mastering these exact tasks.
And this is the point we really can't miss. This entry-level work has always done two things at once. It gets the job done for the company today, and it builds the experienced leaders the company desperately needs tomorrow. It is the training ground. So what happens when that training ground just vanishes?
This all leads to a much bigger problem down the road. And it's sneaky. It won't look like a crisis at first. Instead, years from now, everyone's going to be talking about a mysterious future skills shortage.
This really highlights the difference perfectly. We're all looking over our shoulders for the Terminator, right? Expecting these sudden, massive layoffs. But the quiet reality? It's this idea of erosion through absence. It's not about firing people. It's about simply not hiring beginners. And for a little while, this is actually going to look great on paper. Teams will get smaller, more senior, and hey, they'll seem way more productive.
So here's how this pipeline just empties out. It's happening right now. Companies are just hiring fewer juniors. Okay, in 2 years, those teams look amazing, lean, mean, super senior. But then you fast forward 5 years, and suddenly you've got executives scratching their heads, complaining about this mysterious skills shortage. Where did all the mid-level talent go? They'll have no idea that they're the ones who turned off the tap years ago.
This really gets to the core of it. The job title, developer, journalist, consultant, that's probably not going anywhere. But the work, that was the on-ramp, the apprenticeship that got you in the door, that's what's being quietly automated away.
And that brings us to what's really at stake in this whole transformation. This isn't just about tasks or productivity or efficiency. This is about who gets a chance.
And this is why the change is so easy to miss. On the surface, everything looks the same. The office buildings are still there, the professions still exist, all the senior job titles are all still there. It's a completely silent transformation.
But if you look a little closer, right at the foundation, you see it. The path is broken. That one critical first step, the one everyone who came before you just took for granted, it's just gone.
So I want to leave you with this thought. We've been so obsessed with asking what work is going to get automated, but maybe the real question is, whose opportunity gets automated? Because think about it. If that old ladder is just gone, then we have to ask ourselves some pretty tough questions. Who's supposed to build a new one? And maybe more importantly, who even gets a chance to climb it?